Hello everyone. أهلا بيكم في تعلم الإنجليزية. Learn English. A new day and a new topic. And our topic as usual is connected to our daily life. التوبيك بتاعنا الجديد هو زي العادة مرتبط بحياتنا اليومية. So today we're going to speak about describing clothes. We have talked before about clothes. احنا قبل كده اتكلمنا على الهدوم واتكلمنا على اللبس بتاعنا وازاي نقول أساميها. So today we're going to look at describing it in detail. النهارده هنبص ازاي نوصف الهدوم دي بالتفصيل. So let's together look at what we're going to learn in detail today. So the first thing that we're learning today is vocabulary. And for vocabulary, we're going to learn describing clothes, as we said. And we're also going to learn grammar. And for grammar, we're going to learn demonstratives and one-on-ones. So these words that will help me speak more about clothes when we go shopping for clothes. And we're also going to look at skills. And for skills, we're going to have reading. For reading today, we're going to read description for clothes. So let's start our episode and let's start our first activity. As usual, we start with brain teasers. So for our brain teaser, للناس اللي مش فاكرة يعني إيه brain teaser? Brain teaser is like a puzzle or something that makes me think in English. So it helps me with thinking and it activates my mind and activates my English thinking skill. So let's start. So for the brain teaser today, we have spot the differences. Spot the differences, we have two pictures. Here we have two pictures which are very similar to each other. This is the first picture and this is the second one. Two very similar pictures with small differences. What we will try to do is finding the differences. So let's try together. I will give you 1 second. Take a look and try to find the first difference between both of the pictures. So let's look at the first picture here. So we have 5 differences between this and this. Okay, so we're going to start from the very bottom, from this area, and let's look and spot the differences. Yes, so the first difference is the one that we have here. So in the first picture, we have, a fish. But in the second picture, we don't have a fish, we have a duck. So in the first picture, we have a fish, but in the second picture, we have a duck. Okay, what else? Let's go. And yes, we have another difference here. So in the first picture, we have 3 birds, 1, 2, 3. And in the second picture, we have just 2 birds, 1, 2. Okay, so this is our second difference. Anything else that we can see? Yes, we have another difference here. In the first picture, we have nothing. But in the second picture, we have a dog playing with the boy and the girl. So there is no dog here, but there is a dog here. Okay, what else? Yes, in the first picture, the kite is small and pink. But in the second picture, the kite is big and purple. And the last difference, or the 5th difference, is here. In the first picture, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. And in the second picture, we have just trees. So here are the differences that we talked about, as we agreed. So the duck, the dog, the birds, the tree, and the kite. So this is the first thing that we started with. Now we're thinking in English. Let's start with idioms of the day. So idioms of the day, for those who don't remember the meaning of an idiom. So an idiom is an expression that we use when we speak, and this expression is not connected to the literal meaning of its words. هو expression مش مرتبط بالمعنى الحرفي للكلمات. It helps me to speak fluently and helps me to sound more like native speakers. So let's start with our first idiom for today. And as we said, our topic is clothes, so our idioms are going to be connected to style appearances, and clothes. So let's look at the first one. So the first one that we have is shop till you drop. So the expression of to shop till you drop means to go and visit so many shops until you're very, very tired. لما هقول yesterday I went shopping, I shopped till I dropped, which means I visited a lot of shops to find what I was looking for. لما بزور محلات كتيرة جدا أو لما بروح shopping وأدخل محلات كتيرة جدا I say shop till I drop or shop till you drop. So we can use this and we can say women like to shop till they drop, which means they visit a lot of shops when they go shopping. Or I just like to buy what I want. I don't like to shop till I drop, which means I don't like to visit lots of shops. So as the meaning, to go on a very long shopping trip or to visit lots of shops. This is the first idiom we have, shop till you drop. The second idiom that we have is a pig in a poke. A pig in a poke. So you can say, I don't like to buy a pig in a poke. A pig in a poke here means to buy something that you didn't check or you didn't know whether it's good or bad. So somebody can tell you, okay, this shop is nice, go visit it, and then you tell them, no, I don't like to shop or I don't like to buy a pig in a poke, which means I don't like to buy things without checking. Or when somebody tells you, you can buy your stuff online, you say, no, 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 no. I like to go to the shops, I like to check myself because I don't like to buy a pig in a poke, which means I don't like to buy something blindly without checking it well or without knowing, is it good or bad? Okay, so the third idiom we have is it costs an arm and a leg. When we say it costs an arm and a leg, it means something is really, really expensive or really valuable. So if we buy something which costs a lot of money, I can say it costs an arm and a leg. You can tell your friend, for example, no, you can't drive my car. It cost me an arm and a leg, which means it's very, very expensive. Or when someone tells you, can I borrow your book? No, this book, no. It costs an arm and a leg, which means it's a very expensive book. Or you can't use my PlayStation. It costs an arm and a leg, which means it's very, very expensive. So this is the third idiom we have, which is connected to shopping. So the first one is shop till you drop. The second one is to buy a pig in a poke, which means to buy something without knowing whether it's good or bad. And the third one is it costs an arm and a leg. Okay, we also have a rip-off. So when we say something is a rip-off, this means that it's very expensive for no reason. So we have now two expressions, something that costs me an arm and a leg, which is really expensive, but it is valuable, it's worth it. So the money is good for it. It's expensive, but it's okay. لما اشتري حاجة غالية بس تستاهل, we can say it costs an arm and a leg. But when we buy something which is very expensive for no reason, we can say it's a rip-off. Like when you go and buy a used mobile, for example. So you can say this mobile is for £5,000. It's like, what? It's used. This is a rip-off, which means it's very expensive for no reason. Or when you go to buy a new book and you find it cut or torn and you say, how much is it? It's £2,000 for the book. This is a rip-off. It's cut, it's torn. So a rip-off, which means very expensive thing for no reason, or it's not worthy. So these are the four idioms that we have that are connected to shopping today. The first one, shop till you drop, which means visit lots of shops or go on a very long journey. The second one is to buy a pig in a poke, which means to buy something blindly without checking the quality or knowing if it's good or bad. The third one is exactly a rip-off, which means something is very, very expensive for no reason. And the last one is it costs an arm and a leg, which means it's expensive but it's okay because it's worthy. بكده نبقى اتكلمنا على الفور idioms بتاعتنا، وتعالوا نبص على أول حاجة عندنا which is the vocabulary. So the vocabulary that we're talking about today is describing clothes. عشان نبدأ نشوف الفوكابيلاري بتاع describing clothes، تعالوا نعمل refreshment سريع للclothing items so we can remember the names of clothes. So to start with, we used to talk about our clothing. So we have shirt, and we have sleeveless top, a sleeveless top, and we have long sleeved top, so sleeveless من غير كم and long sleeved بكم. And we have a hoodie, jacket, a tie, shorts, and remember we have to say the S because in Arabic we say short, but in English it's very important to add the S because the meaning will be completely different. So shorts. And we have trousers, and as we said before, it has two different words, American and British. Americans say pants and British say trousers. And we have jeans, and jeans can be jeans shorts or jeans pants. We also have a skirt, a dress, tights, and tights are the very tight pants or the very tight trousers. And we have shoes, which are the classic ones or the formal ones. Boots, a cap, which is the casual one, and we have jewelry, which is the accessory. بكده نبقى عملنا refreshment سريع for the most important clothing items. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف لو هنعمل description للclothing items دي ازاي هنعمله. So if we would like to describe clothes, we're going to describe some things that will help me. ايه الحاجات اللي ممكن تساعدني في ان انا اوصف الكلوز بتاعتي او ان انا اوصف الهدوم؟ The first thing that we can speak about is the material. The material is the fabric that the clothes is made of. So الفابريك اللي هي الخامة. So whenever we speak about clothes, one of the important thing is the material. So let's together look at different types of material that can help me describe our clothes. So the first thing that we have is cotton. And we also have velvet. So velvet is قطيفة. And we have nylon. So this is in Arabic nylon and in English nylon, so it's the same in both. We also have fur, and like you see it in the picture, it's the animal fur or فر الحيوانات. We also have leather. Leather is الجلد عموما. And we have silk. Silk is حرير. And we have denim. Denim is the original material of jeans. And we have polyester, which is both in Arabic and in English, polyester, which is the same. And we have wool wool, wool, which is الصوف أو الأصواف عموما. So this is the first thing that can help me speak about clothes. So we can describe the material. The other thing that we can describe is the pattern. So the pattern is the printing on the clothes. So the clothes can have some pattern like الرسمة اللي موجودة عليها عبارة عن إيه. So we have animal pattern. Animal pattern ده هيدخل فيه الزيبرا وهيدخل فيه التايجر. So any animal printing pattern is called animal pattern. يبقى أي ستايل زي الجلد بتاع الحيوان like the zebra or the tiger or whatever, it's called animal pattern. And we have plain. Plain without any printing. البلين ده اللي هو حاجة سادة ما عليهاش أي kind of printing. And we have spotted. Spotted اللي هي بتبقى منقطة نقط صغيرة. And striped. Striped, which is lines. So striped for lines. And we have polka dotted. Polka dotted that has big dots. اللي بيبقى فيها منقطة أو نقط كبيرة. And we also have patterned or printed. Both are the same. So patterned or printed when we have printing that is not following any of the previous styles. يعني أنا لو عندي الprinting مش زي أي حاجة من previous styles، لا هو منقط ولا like animals. So in this case we call it's printed. ملهوش شكل مميز بيه. So it has drawings that are not clear. And we also have floral. Floral. Floral is coming from the word flower. So if it has flowers on it, it's called floral. Floral. And we also have plaid. Plaid or tartan. So both are the same when we have small squares. So the next thing that can help me speak about clothes and can help me describe, so we talked about material, we talked about pattern or drawing, and we also have the shape or the style. So the third thing that can help me speak about my clothes is the shape or the style. So for the shape or the style, we can have baggy. So baggy is big trousers. When we have big trousers with a lot of pockets, it's called baggy. And we have scurfy. Scurfy. So scurfy is basically the new style that we have, which is torn or cut, or it has an old look. الحاجات اللي بتبقى مقطعة أو شكلها it has the style of cuts and style like that. شكلها قديم. It's called scurfy. And we also have short. So we can say I am wearing a short dress or a short blouse. So short is another thing that can describe the shape or the style. And we have tight. Tight الحاجة اللي بتبقى مجسمة أو ماسكة. So we call it tight. And the opposite of tight is loose. Loose. Loose الحاجات اللي بتبقى واسعة أو مش ماسكة على الجسم. So we have tight, which is very, very small and it is stuck to the body. And we have the opposite, loose, which means big. And we have long, like we said, short, and the opposite is long. And we also have matching, which is the new style when you have two people who are wearing the same colors or the same style. We call them matching. And as we said before, we have long sleeved. كلمة sleeve عموما هي كلمة كم، يعني الكم هو اسمه sleeve. So we can speak about the sleeve specifically and we can say long sleeved or short sleeved, or we can say sleeveless زي ما اتكلمنا قبل كده. So long sleeved بكم طويل، short sleeve بكم قصير، و sleeveless من غير كم خالص. And we have here turtleneck. Turtleneck اللي احنا بنقول عليه الهاي كول. So it's called turtleneck. Turtleneck. and we have V-neck. V-neck اللي هي الرسمة بتاعت number 7. So it's called a V-neck أو السبعة. بكده نبقى اتكلمنا على أهم 3 حاجات ممكن تساعدني في الديسكريبشن بتاع الكلوث بتاعتي. So we talked about the material, we talked about the pattern, and we talked about the style or the shape. These are the 3 things that can help me speak about my clothes. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف لما هنيجي نرتبهم، لما نتكلم عنهم في sentence how we can use them. We have already talked about the words that can help me describe my clothes. So let's see if we're going to put them in a sentence how it's gonna work. وازاي هرتبهم في جملة. So let's look here. So if we're going to speak about this lady and what she's wearing, or if we're going to speak in general about anyone who's wearing anything, we can speak about the color, we can speak about the material, we can speak about the shape. So we have so many things now that we can use to describe our clothing. So in this case, let's see how we can arrange them. خلينا نبدأ الأول لو هتكلم على الcolor والitem. So what color is this? It's purple. And what clothing is this? So this item is called top. So we have purple and top. So in this case, we can say a purple top. So if I'm talking about my clothing, or if I'm talking about my clothes, I can say I am wearing a purple top. So don't forget your article. If we're talking about singular, it's really important to add a. Okay? So what color is this? Pink. And what do we call this? Skirt. So in this case, if I am going to put it in a sentence, I am going to buy a pink skirt. So we start with the article, and then the color, and then the item. So here we have color, black, and the item, boots. So because we're talking about boots, which is always plural, like shoes, always plural, in this case, no a. So top, singular, skirt, singular, don't forget your article. If we're talking about boots, plural, so in this case, no article, it's just the color and the item. So I want to buy black boots. I want to buy a pink skirt. Or I want to buy a purple top. Singular, plural is really important when we choose the article. Put article or no article. يبقى بكده لو أنا هعمل الديسكريبشن بتاعي I start with the article, then color, then item. If I'm talking about singular. If I'm talking about plural, it's color and item without article. So let's give it a try. So I want to buy, or I am going to wear white, and we have a top. So in the sentence, it's going to become a white top. So this girl is wearing a white top. And she's also wearing, what color is this? Brown. And what are these? Shorts. Shorts, singular or plural? Plural. So, and she's also wearing brown shorts. So this girl is wearing a white top and brown shorts. And here we have green. What do we call these? Shoes or boots, both are fine. So in this case, plural, so green shoes without any articles or anything. Okay, so what about the gentleman that we have here? Can you take a second, think, what's he wearing? Don't forget article for singular, no article for plural. So let's add something extra here. So we talked about color and item, or color and piece of cloth. So now we're going to speak about color and pattern as well. So لو هحط الباترن كمان معاهم في نفس السنتنس, in this case we're going to say red and blue plaid shirt. So هبدأ بالcolor وبعد كده ال pattern وبعد كده ال item. So the color first and then pattern and then item. So it's really important to know the order. First color, pattern, name of the piece of cloth. So red and blue plaid, and we have the piece is called shirt. لما هنحطهم مع بعض we're going to move this a to the beginning. So we're going to start with the article a red and blue plaid shirt, because shirt is singular. And he's also wearing black trousers. So black trousers, no article, nothing. So he's wearing a red and blue plaid shirt and black trousers. And also, yes, the color is gray, and we have shoes. And gray shoes, and then again, we're not going to use any article because we're talking about singular. Okay, so if we're speaking about this item here, so a green and blue plaid shirt. يبقى أنا بدأت بالarticle, and then we have the color, and then the pattern, the name of the item or the name of the piece of clothing. So take your time, you have 1 second, think, how would you describe this? This is, so are we going to use an article? Is it singular or plural? So if it's singular, we're going to use an article. So we're going to start with a, very good. So a red and gray striped hoodie. So red and gray, the colors, striped, the pattern اللي فيها lines, and then hoodie, the name of the thing. And then we have a como prints sleeveless top. So como print اللي هو المموه أو اللبس بتاع الجيش. So we call it como print. So a como print sleeveless, as we agreed, without sleeves, it's called sleeveless top. هنا لما جيت أتكلم على sleeveless, this is not the pattern, this is, yes, the style. يبقى أنا لو هدخل كمان معاهم الستايل هيبقى الأوردر بتاعي color, pattern, style, name. يبقى آخر حاجة خالص هي name وقبليها على طول الستايل وبعد كده الcolor والpattern. أوكي، يبقى احنا لو عندنا الحاجات دي، so what do we call this? This is the pattern, and this is the color, the name of the piece, and these are articles, either to put a or nothing. لو أنا هرتب دول، لو أنا هعمل statement عندي، إيه هيجي الأول وإيه هيجي بعديه؟ So the first thing is the article, and then comes the color. After that, the print or what we call it the pattern. وآخر حاجة خالص هتبقى موجودة هتبقى the piece of cloth or the item itself. So it's article, color, print, and piece of cloth or the item that I am describing. So this is the basic order that we use when we describe our clothing. So let's do a practice. Let's have a practice for this, and let's read, or let's think first and then read what they wear. So look at the gentleman that we have here. What is he wearing? So think of the material, think of the pattern, color, the item he's wearing. So think of as many things as you can so you can describe his clothes. So let's read it together. He is wearing a black and yellow striped hoodie. We put a because we're talking about hoodie, which is singular. So a black and yellow striped hoodie, gray baggy shorts. I didn't put a or anything because we're talking about shorts, which are plural. And sneakers. We can add some description for sneakers, or we can leave it as it is fine. Think about this lady. What's she wearing? Look at her clothing, look at the items. What exactly is she wearing? Okay, let's start. So she's wearing a black jacket. She's wearing a black jacket. Jacket is singular, that's why we say a black jacket. And she's also wearing yellow, tight, floral trousers. So the color is yellow, tight floral trousers, so the style, and sandals. We can add some extra description for sandals, or we can leave it as it is. The last one. Okay, so look at the lady. What's she wearing? She's wearing a green cotton top. We can add more details and we can say a green cotton sleeveless top, a printed skirt, and gray high heels. So this is how we can give description. Like when we read it together, we can put as many details as we would like, or we can just put the item itself if I don't want to give long detailed description. So both are fine. ممكن أقول اسم الأيتم بس، أو ممكن أحط كل الديتيلز الممكنة depending على الديتيلز اللي أنا عايزة أوضحها. أوكي، طيب نبقى بدأنا عندنا نشوف طيب إيه الجرامر اللي ممكن يساعدني أتكلم بقى على الشوبينج بتاعي. So let's look at this lady here. She's trying to get dressed and she's trying to select her clothes. So let's look at this. She's talking here and she says, I like that red dress. I like that red dress. And she also said, I like those purple gloves. I like those purple gloves. Purple gloves اللي هم دول. Do you like this dress? Do you like this dress? I like that purple hat. I like that purple hat. في الكلام اللي احنا عمالين نقراه ده, the girl is using 3 different things. This, that, these and those. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف الكلمات دي معناهم ايه او انا بستخدمهم ازاي بالظبط. تعالوا نشوفهم مع بعض. زي ما قلنا and like we said, the girl was talking and she used 4 different words. استخدمت 4 كلمات وهي بتتكلم على الكلوث اللي هي كانت بتختارها من الدولاب بتاعها. So she talked about a word called this and another word called that, and she said these, and she also said those. Those 4 words are called demonstratives. طيب, what do we mean by demonstratives? Demonstratives اللي هي المماثل اللي عندنا أدوات الإشارة. So we use these words to point at things that are either close or far from me. لما أنا باجي أروح shopping أو لما باجي أعمل shopping عموما, when I go shopping in general, sometimes I see something that I like and I want to point at it to the shop assistant so they can help me. يعني أنا بروح shopping, الشوب assistant بيساعدني, فدايما بشاور على الحاجات اللي أنا عايزاها أو الحاجات اللي أنا عايزة أتفرج عليها. So the words that can help me are these 4 words. ال4 كلمات دول هم اللي هيساعدوني to point at things and to show things that I like or I don't like. So let's look at the usage of each. So first of all, let's look at this and that. So when we speak about this and that, both of them are used for, yes, so they are used for singular. This, that for singular. Okay, so we're talking about one. طيب لو احنا we're talking about one, why do we have 2 different words? Because we have 2 different ideas. We're talking about something that is near or close to me and something that is far. So if it's near, if it's close to me, I'm going to say this. If it's far from me, I'm going to say that. So this, near. That, far. So these are the items that can help me. So if I'm talking about one thing, for example, a jacket. So in this case, I can say, I like this jacket, which means أقدر ألمسه، هو قريب في المجال بتاعي أو المحيط بتاعي، مديت إيدي هطوله. So in this case I say this. I like this jacket. Or if it's far from me, I can't touch it, I can say I would like to check that jacket. So that means the far one. Okay, so this and that, we're talking about singular. And we also have these and those. Same meaning, the only difference is that we're talking about plural. Plural, like when we say shoes, like when we say pants, shorts, boots. So in this case, if we're talking about things that are plural or they come in pairs or something, so if I would like to speak about them as plural, I can say I like these shoes. So these for near, and I like those trousers or I like those pants for far. يبقى أنا عندي ال four words متقسمين near and far and singular and plural. This, that, singular, these, those, plural. These and this for near, those and that for far. يبقى أنا عندي this البلورال بتاعها these والاتنين للحاجات القريبة. that البلورال بتاعها those والاتنين بستخدمهم للحاجات البعيدة. So these are the usages of the demonstratives. We use them to point at things or to show things that I like. لما هنيجي نتكلم عنهم بيجوا مرتبطين بحاجة تانية مهمة معاهم, which is two other words. ال two other words دول برضو related لsingular و plural اللي هم كلمة one and ones. طيب يعني ايه one ويعني ايه ones وانا بستخدمهم ليه وايه علاقتهم بالكلام ده؟ So let's imagine a conversation. خلينا نتخيل مع بعض conversation in a shop. I am buying clothes. So let's say that I am buying a blouse, for example. So let's check the conversation and see how it goes. So I go and tell the shop assistant I like this blouse. فهي بتبدأ توريني البلاوز، تبدأ تمسك البلاوز، فبتبدأ تقول لي ايه؟ the blue blouse. كلمة بلاوز عمالة تتكرر. So instead of saying it again and again and again, so she can replace the idea of blouse with the blue one, which means blouse. So we can use one as a replacement for the word, the singular word, instead of repeating it. So هنا كلمة one لحاجة already mentioned قبل كده، حاجة أنا ذكرتها قبل كده وعشان ما كررهاش we can use one for singular. So I can say I want to see the jacket وهي مش عارفة أنهي jacket، فهتفضل تقولي the blue jacket, the red jacket. Instead of this she can say the blue one or the red one. So replacing the word jacket or replacing any singular word with the word one. And in the other case we have, on the other hand, ones, which is the plural. So if we're talking about trousers, if we're talking about shoes, or if we're talking about shorts, instead of repeating the same word again and again, in this case we can say ones. يبقى أنا عندي I can use the demonstratives. هتكلم على demonstratives this, that, these, those هيساعدوني إن أنا أشاور على الحاجة. And the other one and ones that can help me more to speak about the item without repeating, to sound more natural. عشان الكلام بتاعي يبقى natural ما فيهوش repetition كتير. So one for singular and ones for plural. بكده نبقى اتكلمنا على أهم الحاجات اللي ممكن نستحتاجها لما هنيجي نتكلم على الكلوز بالنسبة للجرامر ك one and ones and demonstratives. تعالوا نعمل عليهم practice ونشوف ازاي ممكن نستخدمهم في وسط الجمل. So as we said and as we saw together, 4 things that can help me speak about clothing and can help me speak about shopping. So basically this, that, these and those can help me point at things that I like. And 2 words that can help me avoid repetition. One and ones. يبقى حاجات هتساعدني ان انا اشاور على الحاجه اللي انا عايزاها، وحاجات هتساعدني ان انا اتجنب التكرار. This, that, these and those to point. One and ones for repetition. Avoiding repetition, so we can say one or ones. تعالوا مع بعض نبص مرة ونشوف what the girl is saying and think, is she talking about something which is near or far? So the girl here is saying, do you like this coat? Do you like this coat? هي ليه استخدمت this? Because she's wearing it. هي لابساه, so it is close to her. يبقى أنا هنا استخدمت this for something that is near to me. طيب لو البوي, if the boy says yes I like, he will say I like this or I like that. He will say I like that coat. ساعتها لأن هو واقف بعيد, you can say I like that coat. That. So here, near, and for him it's far. So she says this and he says that. Okay, and as we said, one and ones, like she's the one I told you about, which means اتكلمنا عنها قبل كده, or something that is mentioned before. We use it as a pronoun, or we can speak about something that has already been mentioned earlier. حاجة ذكرناها قبل كده عشان نتجنب التكرار. So we're talking about something which is singular. And here, if we're talking about ones, we're talking about many, plural, something that is already mentioned earlier. Like the examples that we have, I enjoy all the roses here. أنا بتكلم على roses, ورد كتير. So we're talking about something which is plural. Especially the red ones. Instead of saying especially the red roses again, so to avoid repetition and repeating the same word, my word here is plural, so I used ones. These are the only ones I have. I have thrown away all the rest. So ones here, we're talking about something that is mentioned earlier. حاجة اتكلمنا عليها قبل كده, وعشان أتجنب التكرار I use ones. تعالوا بقى نعمل complete. I prefer this blouse, or I prefer this blue t-shirt to the red. احنا بنتكلم على t-shirt. So I can say I prefer the blue t-shirt to the red t-shirt. Or to avoid repetition, we can say I prefer this blue t-shirt to the red one, because we're talking about t-shirt here that is singular. And here we have these books are mine. If we're talking about books, the ones on top or on the top shelf are yours. Instead of repeating books again, I can use ones. So one and ones to avoid repeating these words. Okay, بكده آخر حاجة هنتكلم عنها هي السياق أو الكونتكست. لما هاجي أروح shopping, if I go shopping, what can I say exactly? So let's look. The first thing that can help me speak about this is how much. So how much is asking about the price. So in a conversation like this, we can say how much is or how much are. So we're talking about how much is for singular and how much are for plural. يبقى كده تعالوا نميكس بقى مع بعض كل حاجة اتعلمناها النهاردة in one statement. So we have this dress that we have here. تعالوا نفكر, is it short or long? Long. Singular or plural? Singular. So if I am going to ask about it and if it's near to me, I can say how much is that dress. يبقى هنا في السياق هنا الدرس is near or far, because I used that, it's far. So how much is that dress? كلمة dress هنا we can edit it and we can add as many details as we want. How much is that red silk dress? So I can add the details to be more specific. And the answer is, it's 270 pounds. So in this case, what happens is that I can use all of them in one sentence or in one question. How much is this or that? And we can add the pattern, the color, the material, and then the name of the item. And for the answer, the person can use one-on-ones instead of repeating the same thing. بكده نبقى اتكلمنا النهارده على cloth and description of cloth. اتكلمنا على shopping for clothes in general and things that can help me speak about clothes and can help me when I go shopping for clothes. We talked about idioms, we talked about colors, material, patterns. We talked about the 4 demonstratives, this, that, these and those. And we also talked about one-on-ones to avoid repetition. And we saw if we're going to speak about them in a full conversation or if we're going to put them in a full sentence, إزاي ممكن نعمل ده. بكده نبقى وصلنا لنهاية حلقتنا. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.